Without bond, accused of the unthinkable. She's charged with first-degree murder in her 4-year-old son's death. St. Pete police say the boy's 16-year-old sister got home from school yesterday and found her mother, Diana Cullum, holding her brother in a bed. But there was also blood throughout the house. Cullum made her first appearance in court this afternoon, and Fox 13's Kaylee Tracy has the details, which we do want to warn you are disturbing.
A judge told an expressionless Diana Cullum she will stay in jail under no bond and that she can't have any contact with her 16-year-old daughter, the one who made that gruesome, horrific discovery. Cullum's husband, Dr. Damian Cullum, sat in the front row of the courtroom with 3 others who were all visibly emotional. He held his head in his hands and covered his mouth at times. Police and court records say Diana Cullum suffocated 4-year-old Finley Cullum with a plastic bag. Diana Cullum has self-inflicted stab wounds, police say, that were visible on her arms in court Wednesday. Investigators say the daughter found a knife and a note at the home on Tanglewood Drive Northeast. They believe Diana Cullum wrote the note, but haven't said what was in it. During her court appearance, she stood emotionless, with her arms crossed as the judge spoke to her.
I'm going to indicate to you that you're not to have any contact with your daughter. She's involved in this case. So no contact means no contact. Do not call, text, write, no contact whatsoever until further order of the court.
Investigators say Dr. Cullum, who owns Crescent Lake Family Dentistry, was not home at the time of the incident. The office's website says Diana helped her husband open the dentistry. It goes on to say the couple have, quote, 4 wonderful children, and that in her free time, she loves to spend time with friends and family, time with God, business ventures, and charity work. Police.
Welcome to the video, everyone. Man. My condolences to the father, the daughter that discovered this gruesome situation, and the rest of the family. So as you heard, mother suffocated her 4-year-old, and seems like she stabbed herself or was trying to kill herself as well. Wrote a note. They didn't describe what was in a note, but typically, and not saying this is a typical situation, but it's typically like it's typically a like a suicide note of some sort. Let me hear what else they had to say here.
Say there's no history of officers responding to that home. Diana Cullum's attorney, Kevin Hazlett, says he and the family have no comment right now.
Yeah. And as you can see, she was standing there emotionless, like she didn't just kill a 4-year-old. Some people, man, her husband was a doctor. Think he had a dentistry, from what I remember here in the family dentistry, and that's the father there, and of course, she helped open the dentistry, as they were saying, and this is crazy. I'm kind of like at a loss for words, really, because it's just like you have to be an evil soul to kill your own child, to kill anybody, but to kill a life that you brought into this earth, and I mean, everyone knows childbirth, it's not a guarantee that you'll live through childbirth as a woman. So it's like, you went through all that as far as having a child, and then, you made the decision to do this to your child. It's definitely demonic behavior. And, she's standing emotionless, and just, doesn't seem like she even, I mean, she may care, it may hit her. It may have already hit her, but she's more than likely going to regret this for the rest of her life. No bond for her. And she's, been told not to have any communications with her 16-year-old daughter who discovered it. And you got to think how the 16-year-old, because at 16, you have an awareness of what's going on. And to walk in and see something like that is, it's going to be traumatizing for her. And so, my prayers again go out to the whole family. And I do a lot of videos to where I try to bring, stories and do like reactions to a lot of these news clips to show you it doesn't matter really what your skin color is. That's not the thing. It's whether you make a decision to do something right or you just make a decision to do something wrong. Whether you decide to go out here and be helpful to people or where you're going to go out here and decide to be harmful to people. And so, this is an example here that, it doesn't always have to be a young black YN, as they say. It sometimes, or a white man who, looks like he's off his rocker. It can also be women. It can be women of all colors. So the devil, it works on everybody. It's just not going to be just one particular type of people. Now, certain crimes you can attribute to certain type of people and stuff like that, maybe. But at the end of the day, it's just not a whole general type of thing. You know, a lot of these situations are just on a situation by situation basis, and so this is just one of those tragic situations, man. And I just really, am at a loss for words of, how a mother could be so cold to murder their 4-year-old, suffocating them with a bag. And, you know, at 4, a lot of kids are definitely talking and stuff like that. So, can only imagine what that 4-year-old was going through or what was going through his mind when his mother was doing this to him. And, you definitely have to look at her psyche because she was sitting there laying with him as she was bleeding as well. But just sitting there laying with him, his dead corpse and stuff like that. It's yeah, this is definitely a messed up situation. Like, trying to keep from cussing so much on these videos because if I ever or when I do get to the point to where my channel is monetized and ads are running and stuff like that, I don't want to just have a whole lot of cussing and stuff, and I feel like I could communicate without doing all that, but I'm really at a loss for words, and I just don't get how a mother could do this to their child. you know know it's gonna be more that's gonna come out of this story. This is out of St. Petersburg, Florida. But as you can see, man, it's hard to even read her when you look into her eyes. It's just really hard to see, man. And as it was saying, there was no reports of like police showing up to this residence, whether they was having family issues, or you know whether she was like a stay-at-home mother who just maybe got tired of just being a stay-at-home mother. It's really no telling. We'll have to wait for more information to come out, but none of that is an excuse to take your 4-year-old. So yeah, just wanted to bring a light to this story here. Suffocated her kid, and now she has to face the consequences. Again, I think she was definitely trying to take herself out, seeing where those stab wounds are on her arm. But again, my condolences to the family, and we'll just have to see what updates come out of this whole story here. Go ahead and close this one out, though. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is Justin Paul. Peace.